welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Stevie, this is Stevie Reads, and if you're watching this video the day that it comes out, it is the last day of 2025, which means that it's time to film one of my favorite videos to film, talking about all of my 5-star reads, the best books that I read in 2025, and I have a lot of them. I have done a lot of reading this year. So far, I have read 124 books, and I think I'm gonna have time to read one more, so I think I'll hit 125. But out of all of those reads, these are far and beyond my favorite, which is why I'm wearing my big old heart sweater. I love and adore all these books, and there's a lot to go through, so I'm not going to be doing synopsises. I'm just going to be raving and squealing about all these new faves. Other than this stack, the first one that we're going to go through, these are not new favorites, they are rereads, because I went on a journey of just rereading some favorite series. So we'll go through this first stack even quicker, because I don't know if they technically count. They're not new favorites, but they are books that I revisited and, as you can tell, annotated a lot. Starting off with the very first book that I read this year, The Wicked King by Holly Black. I did a whole Cruel Prince reread so that I could continue and read the duology about Oak. And so yeah, first book that I read this year was The Wicked King. This book is so tea. I loved it even more the second time around. Sadly, didn't really love the duology as much, but at least it's not on my TBR anymore. Then I reread one of my favorite books of all time, Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. This was my third full read through. The first couple times that I read it, I listened to it on audiobook. So this time I read it physically and I annotated, and I annotated the shit out of this. Like, probably one of my most annotated books of all time. Every single page has a highlight or an underline. I think this book is just genius. The plotting, the writing, like the whole storytelling, oh my god. I'm so happy I found a first edition at a thrift store so that I could have the beautiful hardback and just live my damn life reading it. And oh, I have videos for like basically all of these books on my channel, so if you want to see me rant and rave more about this, I have a video. I also did a video where I reread all of the Saga series so that I could continue on and read volumes 10, 11, 12. So I reread 1 through 9, and out of those 9, these 4 are my 5-star favorites. Volume 2, 5, 6, and 9. Love that graphic novel series and love that I got to like finally continue and I'm fully caught up in it. Then a series that is just so close to my heart, like literally the reason that I'm a reader. I reread Twilight. The first book is a 5-star, literally just for like nostalgia purposes. I just remember reading this as a little teenager and falling in love with Edward. And so I don't know if it's like the best book of all time. I honestly don't know if I would reread this one again, but it was so nostalgic and fun to like read it as an adult. Best book in the series for me though is Eclipse. If I ever like want to do a reread for the vibes, I'll probably just read this one. Best book in the series for me. I am always gagged over Eclipse. And then Midnight Sun, we get to be in Edward's point of view. He is the sassiest vampire in the world, and he's way funnier in his point of view, just like making fun of his siblings and his schoolmates and everybody all of the time. This is so hilarious to read, to see how fed up he is with like high school and just all of his family drama. So anyway, loved Midnight Sun as well, but that completed my Twilight reread. And then I finally read the 2 Hunger Games prequels, which led me to reading The Hunger Games, best YA dystopian to ever exist. Like, Suzanne Collins, literal genius. Obviously this was 5 stars, and so is Catching Fire, best sequel of all time. And these are just so fresh in my mind as well because they're my most recent rereads, but I adore this series with my entire heart. I love the books, I love the movies, and it is actually Christmas Eve for me today. So I still have 1 week left of this year, and I'm going to be spending it rereading Mockingjay and finishing out my Hunger Games reread. So Mockingjay is still on my shelf over there, but I can almost guarantee that it's also going to get a 5-star. So we can pretend that it's also in the stack, but I need to pre-film this video for reasons, and she just did not make the cut. But yeah, I am so excited to spend the last week of the year rereading another favorite and just closing out the year with hopefully another 5-star. But yes, that was all of my rereads. And now we can get into the next stack, which is actually new 5-star favorites. But I'm gonna grab the other one too and get this one out of here so we can just go through all the new 5 stars. And I am also going in order of when I read these. So we're starting off in January, we're gonna end in December down here, but the first brand new 5-star I found this year was Beartown by Fredrik Backman. This was painfully realistic. Fredrik Backman really has a way of like putting the mirror up to the absolute worst of people. And I did read the whole trilogy. I didn't love the sequels as much as the first one, but I think that the first book is definitely worth it. I mean, obviously it is so heartbreaking, but it really shows you a lot about like family and community, and Fredrik Backman is like such an accomplished writer for a reason. People love his books because they're really fucking good. So yeah, I wanted to read this like during the wintry season, so I'm pretty sure I picked it up in January and immediately found a new favorite this year. Then I pulled this one out of the TBR jar, Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. This is, I've said it a million times, but it is dragon romantasy at its finest. I adored the found family, like all of the main characters in this story and the way that they come together as like genuine friends was so beautiful, and like I just want to be a part of their friend group. And I compare it a lot to Fourth Wing because that's the popular dragon romantasy going around, and I read Fourth Wing as soon as it came out. Like pretty sure I listened to it on audio through my library, and I thought it was okay. Like I gave it a 3-star, but it didn't do anything amazing for me. I didn't feel the need to continue in the series. But this is what I want out of a dragon romantasy. I was so locked in, and it is huge. Like this book is almost 600 pages, but I didn't give a fuck. I loved it so much. And I have the self-published edition, so I don't know if the traditional one would be a 5, but I don't give a fuck. This was so good. Olivia Rose Darling, please give me the arc for book 3 right now. Next up is The Favorites by Lane Fargo. It's ironic that this is called The Favorites because now it is a new favorite for me, but I listened to this one on audiobook and I remember it was so hard to put it down. Like all I wanted to do all day long was listen to this book, and the characters are so unlikable, so flawed, but it made them so real. And I also just couldn't stop picturing this as a movie. I think so many of the scenes would be amazing to see like on the big screen. So I just want this to be adapted into a movie like yesterday, and I think more people need to pick it up. It was just delicious enemies to lovers kind of like rivalry that you can actually see why they would hate each other, but then amazing when they come together. Next up is Twice Tempted by a Rogue by Tessa Dare. This is the second book in the Stud Club trilogy. This was super funny and sexy. Our main heroine owned an inn, so she was very independent and didn't need a man. She just really wanted this man, and literally nobody does historical romance like Tessa Dare. She is the queen with it, and this whole trilogy was a lot of fun, but the second one was my favorite by far. Meredith and Reese, the tension, oh my god, I just ate this up. Then we have I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. The writing style of this book was immaculate. Like it's been months, but I can just remember this writing. It was so like transportive, if that's even a fucking word, but like it put you right into this world, and I could visualize everything so easily. And you leave this book with a million questions. Literally nothing gets answered, which if that frustrates you in a book, like I feel like some people would be mad at the ending of this, but this had a lot of really deep talks about loneliness and what you need to survive versus what you need to like actually live and enjoy your life. And that's one of my like favorite conversations in books, so I ate it up. I also annotated it so much. Another one of those books like highlight on every page. This was so much fun but so heartbreaking, and I'm pretty sure I did tear up a little bit at the end, but I really would recommend it to anybody. And one of the books in this list that I'm probably going to be rereading in the future. Like so fucking good. Then we have Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. This was my first 5-star from Ali Hazelwood, which feels crazy because I read like all of her backlist, but just another very sweet and sexy romance. This main man, Lucas, he was psychic or something. I swear to God, like he knew what Scarlett wanted and needed by just fucking looking at her. And Ali Hazelwood is only getting better and better for me, but this is the first of her books that I was like, God damn. Yeah, now you're an auto-buy author. I just want to pick up whatever she fucking writes. Was seriously just such a good time. A romance between a diver and a swimmer. Who knew I would need this book like water? This one I will be quick about. I feel like I've talked about this series 1,000,001 times on my channel. Lore Olympus Volume 8. Every single volume of this series is 5 stars. This book came out this year. I immediately bought it and picked it up. 5 fucking stars. It's a Hades and Persephone retelling, but you also just get a lot of lore about all of the different gods and goddesses, and I just love Rachel Smith. I want to live in her brain. And then we have Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Huang. This is the best horror book that I read all year. I didn't read a lot of horror books, but she gets the #1 spot. This book is gnarly. It really opens up your eyes to the beauty industry, and I know it's a horror book, so it's very exaggerated from what actual reality is, but it's also like I could definitely see some bitches taking it this far. Like the way you look and the beauty industry right now is so important for so many women, and this is another book that I would recommend literally anybody to read. It's disgusting. I'll tell you that right now. It is foul beyond belief, but it's also fucking brilliant, and I just really enjoyed the reading experience of it. And then we also have a thriller, so I guess I was just in the spooky mood, but The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn, the second Gillian Flynn in this video. This is a tiny novella thriller ghost story, so I don't want to tell you anything about the story because I feel like literally any detail would spoil it, but this was so fun. I also listened to an audiobook. I think the audiobook is literally like 2 hours long, so such a quick, easy listen, and also one that I would reread. Like I just love this author so much, and this was published so many years ago, so I don't know why I put it off for so long, but it was amazing, obviously. Then we have Passenger Princess by Morgan Elizabeth. This book is a bodyguard princess romance, so it's just a concoction of like all my favorite tropes. He falls first. It is a man who yearns. It was also just like set in summer, and I read it in the summer for like a summer romance video, so it was just perfect timing. I feel like I read it when I was supposed to. I had the best time with these characters in this romance. It was so cutesy, and I just love like the tension of the princess bodyguard trope. Like it's forbidden, but that just makes it 10 times hotter. And then the only manga that we have on this list, Full Metal Alchemist Volume 8, and this one was surprising because it is the second book in this series that I gave 5 stars. The first one was Volume 1, so that means that volumes 2 through 7 have all been either 3 or 4 stars, which means I liked all of them, but none of them have made me like really want to continue in the series like this one did. But all of the characters that we've met in all of the volumes finally got together in this book, and like now they're all on the same page, they're all on the same side, and I just think the second half of the series is about to go crazy. So I'm so excited to read. I think there's 18 volumes. Yeah, there's 18. I got gifted the rest of the series by my husband for my birthday, so now I really just want to continue. I have volumes 9 through 18, but I've just been debating on how to do it in a video to like make it fun, because obviously I don't want to start from volume 1 and reread all of them because I just read volume 8 and gave it a 5. Like I know where we're at in the story, so I'm thinking maybe doing like a weekend reading vlog, reading volumes 9 through 18, or I honestly have no idea. Drop some ideas down below on how to make a video exciting of just finishing the series, but I can't wait. I really want to. I think the shelf of all of the volumes on my bookshelves is just stunning, and it feels wrong that I haven't finished the series yet. So anyway, volume 8 was 5 stars, really made me want to continue, and that's my goal in 2026. I want to wrap up Full Metal finally. I think I read the first volume literally in like 2018 or something. It has been years. Last book in this stack, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Another book that I put off for years because it's so huge. I was just insanely intimidated, but I picked up the audiobook and this main character grew on me so much over the course of the story. He is not somebody that anybody would call a hero. He was literally called a coward right to his face, but I think that just made him rise to the occasion, and seeing his arc over the story was so fun. I posted a video about it when I read it, and then my brother watched it and was like, okay, I'm gonna read that book too, and he read it and gave it 5 stars. So now we are both so excited for the movie to come out in March. We are gonna go together on release date. We will be sat with our extra large popcorn and I just love that I read it this year finally, and I got him to read it, and like, yeah, we both just absolutely can't wait for the movie. So excited. Okay, final stack. I'm gonna move these over here so I have room to place them, but the most intimidating book on my TBR, it has been on my TBR for years, The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. This was the #1 rated book on my TBR for years. That's why I picked it up. I think it's like a 4.8 or something ridiculous on Goodreads. Like, everybody who reads this book in its entirety gives it 5 stars because it is genius. The way that everything comes together at the end especially is bananas, and I really need to pick up the sequel soon. I have Words of Radiance up there just staring at me from my shelf like, okay, you love book 1, like, pick me up. But it's the same thing. That book is huge, and this one took me a week to read, like, locked in. I read this every single spare second that I had for a week. I don't think I picked up my phone once, like, and it still took me so long because it's 1,067 pages or something. Like, this book is fucking huge, but it was so worth it, and I need to continue in the series ASAP. So funny to go from Brandon Sanderson right to another Tessa Dare, but I read A Night to Surrender, which is the first book in the Spindle Cove series, which I own all 5 books from this series on my shelf, but this first one was 5 stars, and I really loved it because this main character was so sassy. The banter between these two was just hilarious, but also the setting of Spindle Cove is so cute. It's like this island of women, kind of outcasts from society, and all of them are so quirky and cute, and I want to binge this whole series. Honestly, I have already read the second one. I think I gave it a 4, but I have 3 more on my TBR, and it's another series that I want to complete in 2026. This is so much fun. Next up is The Female by Envy Wright. This is a Why Choose monster romance, which I also binged this entire series as soon as I read this first one, gave it a 5. Then I bought the second and the third book on my Kindle, and they did get progressively worse for me, but this first one was so fun. I read it in a day. I think it was a Sunday that I just sat on the couch and literally did not do anything else other than read this book. It was addicting, but I'm happy that I just bought the first one. I do think the cover is just beautiful. For a fantasy romance, very unique. Love the vibe of it. Okay, only 6 more. We have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. She is an auto-buy author for me, but this made me cry like a little baby. And Taylor Jenkins Reid is the GOAT for a reason. Like, it was just too beautiful not to give a 5. I hope they make this into a movie or a short series or something, but I don't think I'm gonna be the only one that has this on their favorite books of this year. Like, I know as soon as the new TJR comes out, all the girlies pick it up and read it, and I'm just happy to be a part of that fan club. It was so poignant and beautiful. I loved this main character, Joan, so much. And I told y'all that I read the prequels this year, but Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, oh my god, this will make you want to scream, cry, throw up all at the same time. Haymitch really went through it, like, wow. But it was an excellent read, and again, I cannot wait for the movie that comes out next year. It's all the way in November, which feels like a million years away, but I don't give a fuck. I am also gonna be there on release date with my popcorn, ready to watch this heartbreak happen. Like, holy shit, just such a good fucking book. God, I love Haymitch Abernathy. Also, a book that came out this year, Wrath of the Dragons by Olivia Rose Darling. This is a sequel to Fear the Flames, and this came out in August, and I'm pretty sure I picked it up in October. So I'm just so happy that like I picked up and read a sequel so quickly this year, especially because I just started the series like in February or something. So since I immediately read the sequel, now I have to wait so long for book 3, but I looked it up on Goodreads and it does say expected to release in 2026. So fingers crossed. Like, I know it's gonna be worth the wait, but I need book 3 so fucking bad. This is my Dragon Queen. Like, oh, such an amazing book 2, like just as good as book 1 for real. Another Lore Olympus, volume 9. Obviously, I literally don't have anything else to say. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Whenever book 10 comes out, I'm pretty sure in April, I will be picking up and reading and almost definitely giving it 5 stars as well. Last 2 books though, we have Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I ate this up. Oh my god. And again, it's her heroes for me. Like in Deep End, I was obsessed with Lucas, and in this one, Cohen. What a man, what a man, what a man! I mean, technically he's a werewolf, but what a man. Oh my god. I didn't know that she was gonna be able to do paranormal romance this good, but she can do paranormal romance this good, y'all. Like, wow. Mate was so much fun. And then the last book, Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I read this book just barely in December in my most recent video. If you want to watch me bawl my eyes out, literally sobbing from this book. It was so good. It will rip your heart out of your chest and stomp on it, but by the end you will say thank you. So that's really all I have to say. You've probably already seen the movie. It came out in 2016, so I know I'm late to the party of this book, but it was one of the oldest books on my TBR, and I finally picked it up this year, and obviously very, very happy that I did. This was so much fun, so amazing. Like I've said probably 100 times in this video, I just fucking loved it. So yeah, these are the 2 stacks of all of the brand new 5-star favorites that I found this year. Let me count and see how many. 21. So not including my rereads, I found 21 new 5-star favorites. That is amazing. I will have read 125 books this year, and to find 21 new faves feels very lucky and very special, and I just want to hug these books. I love them so much, but I know this video is going to be a million hours long, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Wednesday for another video in the new year. Wow, can't believe it, but love y'all so much. Thanks for watching. I have to jump at the camera to do my outro. Bye!